Well, our next guests, Kristine Poggioli and Carolyn Eidson, have produced a book that my husband will really like because he's a hiker. And the book is called Walking San Francisco's Scenic 49-Mile Drive. Welcome, Kristine and Carolyn. How are you?
Thank you.
Fantastic.
So, how did this come about, and what made you decide to write the book?
Well, we kind of wanted an exercise goal for the year. We love to do like vacations in our own city, and we love to walk through all the charming neighborhoods in San Francisco. And I'd seen the 49-Mile Scenic Drive signs all over town for years, but I thought, why don't we walk that? That would get us all around the city in different places, and it'll be something that we have achieved.
Yeah, and it really is the best exercise in the world, is it not, walking?
There's a whole section on that. It can be better than running. And it's better for your knees, and it's fun. And you get out and you just hang out with someone, spend some time, talk to somebody.
So, has it been good for your marriage?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. We talk about how it brought us closer together doing it, because you really do. You get out, you get away from the TV, you experience something together, and it's an adventure.
Right.
And, you know, even though Kristine was born here and I've been here for 25 years, you know, we thought we knew everything about the city and everything there was to see, but we saw so many things that we'd never stumbled upon before, and we just thought, wow, this has to be a book. We have to share this.
And you know, it's 49 miles, but we broke it into 17 3-mile walks, and like, just, you know, what neighborhood to start in, you know, where to begin, where to end. And I also have a history degree from Berkeley that I finally get to put to use. My mother will be thrilled. But when I was researching the history along the route, there was all these stories I don't know. And I thought, if I'm a native and I don't know them, these are the most fun stories we could come up with.
Right. So tell me about some of the fun stories, things that the average, like, I've been here 30 years, you 25, you're a native, that we wouldn't know about our own city.
Do you know about the Crocker Spite House?
I do not.
Okay. Well, Charles Crocker was one of the Big Four railroad robber barons.
Yeah, one of the ones that the Big Four restaurant is named after.
Exactly, exactly. Well, he's like 6'4", 300 pounds. He's used to getting everything he wanted. And what he wanted was the best mega mansion on the best spot in the whole city, which was Nob Hill. And the problem was a few other people lived there. So he buys them out, except for one guy, an undertaker named Mr. Jung, who, you know, he wanted his house on this spot and refused to sell. Well, Crocker hired his railroad engineers to build a 40-foot fence all the way around his house. And I think we have a photo of it here somewhere.
Yeah.
And it blocked out all the light, all the sun, all the air, and made it unlivable.
From this poor Mr. Young.
Yes. So Mr. Young, they had to move out, but he stuck a giant coffin on it facing Crocker's house. It said CC-RIP. And it became like, you know, the sensational thing. The newspapers would come, the big man takes on the little man. Yeah. And finally, when they both died, the heirs bought it right before the '06 earthquake, and both of them got burnt down. And then they donated that plot to Grace Cathedral. So when you go by Grace Cathedral. Which is now
where Grace Cathedral is, right.
Right.
What were some of the things that you learned about your own city?
Oh, there are just so many things. I mean, one of the interesting things, I love Golden Gate Park, and so the 49-mile drive goes through Golden Gate Park, and how McLaren, one of the builders of the park, hated all the statues, and people would donate statues, and so as soon as they would arrive, he would plant shrubbery all around them, and so they would just grow up around him and disappear. And so, a funny thing, on his 65th birthday, the city gave him a statue, life-size statue of himself, which he, promptly put in a closet and nobody found it until later.
He couldn't find shrubs quick enough to plant around it, right? I've been asking everyone this whole taping day about how they feel after last week's election. I remember within hours of Donald Trump becoming president, the mayor of the city of county of San Francisco sent out a note saying, "We are still a beacon for LGBT people." Do you feel, as an openly lesbian couple living here in San Francisco, that you have a duty to show this city to people?
I hadn't thought of it as a duty in that sense, but I love this city. I want people to fall in love with it, and I want, like, all the new people moving here who don't know it to know more about it. And we did put a lot of queer history in there. It's not a gay book, but most of the photos are by gay people. There's a picture of our wedding at Baker Beach. Is the most fabulous thing that ever happened in the history of Baker Beach is our wedding.
I saw that on Twitter. Yeah.
And there's the story about Filipinos who actually landed in America before the Pilgrims did, and so all the different ethnic groups, because that's what we are. All these people came here. And it really is an amazing place for everyone, and it is a beacon for the world. I love the way you put that.
Right. How did it make you feel to put this book out in a time when, you know, in one moment it seemed like our marriages and everything was moving forward, and we're in a turbulent, whatever one's political perspective is, we're in a very turbulent political period, but still San Francisco stands. I mean, do you think there's anything political about this book? I mean, you say you have a picture of your wedding.
I think absolutely. You know, there's so much progressive politics in our history, and we wanted to share that part of the book because with newcomers who are coming into town, and just so that they understand this is what San Francisco is about. This has been our history, and I think that it will continue to be that.
Talk to me a little bit about some of that queer history that's in this book. Because I love all history, but I love learning that little tidbits because I'm always giving tours to friends when they come to visit, and I love finding something new.
Well, you know, Polk Street was the main gay drag for a while, and we actually put a little bit in about MCC San Francisco, the first Metropolitan Community Church, right. The first gay church. Started on Polk Street, went to the Castro, and now they're back on Polk Street. We put in, you know, the story of the Pink Triangle, and I think a lot of people won't know what that triangle is about. And the other triangles, like, you know, Jehovah's Witness had a certain color triangle, Gypsies had a certain color triangle, and the Jews the double yellow, and about reclaiming that, to never forget and to have hope to move forward. We're going to claim that. And so just little pieces like that. It's just something someone from some other part of the world will walk by and read and realize, wow, that could have happened to any of us and all of us, and that's what that pride's about.
Right. What is it like working together as a couple?
It can be challenging. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of pressure to put together this book. I mean, we think of it as a mashup because there is history, there's fun facts, there's walking, there's architecture, there's the activist group Walk SF wrote a section about sort of safe streets, and I know that, you know, we're trying to do Vision Zero of zero pedestrian fatalities, and so there was just so much there, and being under time constraints, and, you know, it can just, you know, living, working together.
Right, right. I work with my husband, so I know. But which one of you is that chapter's done? We have to get it to the editor.
I'm more. I think I'm a little more the deadline, and we better get it in, and we better. Okay, I'm a little more the driving force. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
If you say it nicely.
No. I mean, there's always right. Big picture and like, well, this envelope needs a stamp, sort of thing.
Yeah. Kristine would be cracking the whip.
Cracking the whip. Yeah, got it. In our last couple of minutes, tell me what you learned about each other through this book. You know, any sort of artistic expression, you learn something as a creator about yourself from it. I
think, you know, to your point about artistic expression, you know, we found out early on in our relationship, and we've done other creative stuff together, that the collaboration, the end result of a collaboration is always better than just like the individual ideas. And so I think it was that collaboration that really made the book something that we're really proud of.
Right. I think it's growing and changing. You know, you've been in a long relationship also, and you learn there are new ways to communicate, and there are some things you may do that are irritating in this process, but when you love each other, and we're absolutely committed to each other, if we can talk about that and work that out.
Right.
So I love her. I'm keeping her.
Oh, good. We've only got about 20 seconds left. Tell me, what is your favorite one of those 17 segments? You see, it's divided
Presidio.
up. Presidio.
Yeah.
And why is that?
I think just the rich history there. I mean, I think about as a child going to a national park like Gettysburg and kind of being there, and the history's palpable, but when you're in the Presidio, it's that same thing.
It's beauty and history.
But so much beauty.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching 10%. We'll see you here next week, or maybe on the streets of San Francisco. Good night.